EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we wrap up Week 3 with a good Monday nighter here between the Toronto Huskies and the Indianapolis Colts. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. This defense for the Colts, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And right away, he lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Here's Mills. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
This is taken at about the 14. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one, but occasionally the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly, maybe someone tipped it off, but on that play, it had no chance.
And now a pass dumped off to his running back. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. They rolled out of the pocket right, and I think he wanted a little something more out of that play, obviously. Instead, he hit a safety valve.
It looked like 2 well-coached teams there, even though there was no yardage gain, because the offensive guys, they realized their quarterback was out of the pocket. All the receivers went to the right spots, tried to get in his sight line, tried to open themselves up. Just nowhere to go where they could gain yardage. How about the defensive guys, though? Did not lose leverage and kept their poise and made a really nice play.
The Colts send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within you, that's caught at the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one good for 37 yards.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Mills. And he finds Howard complete. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now Mills. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
3rd and goal, Mills. They're going for Howard, but the pass intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. And what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From the 6. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Looking to throw is Mills. Incomplete.
And this drive was almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sacked on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Mills. Going for the deep ball. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Colts are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. They'll get this to the 24, and it's second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll set up to throw. That'll be caught by Rodgers. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 more yards there and another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll run the toss here with Taylor. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So a nightmare start to the drive as they're already staring at 2nd and long. They're going to look to throw. And Woods has it complete. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
That coach is always hard on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. They'll look to throw here. Able to find his man, Woods. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That one goes for 36 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Colts have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. He has enough for the first down of the keeper, a gain of 6. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now here's a handoff out of the... Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the Colts pick it up. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Do you remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills,
Yep.
and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the 1st. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the 1st half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Pierce takes it straight ahead. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Mills. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Mills. This is caught. Touchdown. Gabriel Davis, his 1st touchdown of the new season. And the Huskies get a late score here in the final minute of the 1st half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football. Full half to be played. Takes it at the 7. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Back to throw. And this is caught at the 20. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive. And these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Looking to throw. He'll drop this down to Taylor. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Touchdown, Colts! Adam Prentice as the first half is winding down. And the Colts will extend their lead here just before halftime. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 15 now. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing, Mills. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have. Wait a second. They declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They'll throw now on the final play. And that is incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Lutz now to kick this one away. Takes it at the 7. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now the pitch goes to Taylor.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 49 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. That'll give him 8 that time. And that'll bring up a second down and just a couple. And he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL. Being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
2nd and 2. Got it complete to Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on it.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. He'll look to throw. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. So that play, I mean, it was pretty well blown up from the start, and it results in a turnover.
Yeah, when you're running the option like that as a quarterback, you have so many different keys and reads to make that sometimes as you're making them, you're not protecting the ball the way you should, and it gets popped free.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete to his running back, Taylor. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
This is caught. And the Colts are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Taylor. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the third quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances.
And he takes it in for a Colts score. Jonathan Taylor with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Colts use the short field to get in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll increase their lead to 28. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a 1-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Mills throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender, because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there.
Mills can't get away, and down he goes. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. And defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the shotgun, it's Mills. And that's complete to Cooks. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the... The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Mills. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackman. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On third down, here's Mills. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he's going to be taken down about a yard shy of the first at the 29. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to make it fourth down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here we go on fourth down. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. First and 10, Taylor now. Oh, good move. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 70 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On second down, it's Taylor. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, here's Taylor. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Disaster there, resulting in a loss of 7 on third down. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
On 2nd and 7, Mills. He's got a man, complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 34.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the...
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Well, CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about or really grasp onto in this game. They've been dominated, but at least they get a late touchdown here, something positive to put on film for tomorrow's session.
Yeah, they're still trying to execute, trying to get some positives on their board and ledger sheet, and keep this from being a total loss. Give them credit. They're going down fighting.
And this is caught, so they do get the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Running left, Taylor. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Colts send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
On 2nd and 10, Mills. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Mills, 4th down, got to have it. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. On the handoff, Taylor. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8. Again, it's Taylor. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. 89 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So for Indianapolis, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Toronto, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.